Hi Aquarius, welcome to December. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. So this month we have a new moon eclipse in Sagittarius, which is favorable to your sign on December 4th. Neptune moves direct on the 1st. Let's see what else is happening. Mars is moving into Sagittarius on December 13th. Venus goes retrograde on the 19th. And we have a full moon in Gemini on the 18th. And at the end of the month, Jupiter moves into Pisces. And we'll get to that later. Let's see what the cards say. What do the cards have to say about love and romance for Aquarius? What is coming up? What is coming up for December 2021? How is Aquarius going to finish out the year? What do they need to know about love and romance for December 2021? What is coming up for Aquarius in December 2021? The Four of Cups, the Six of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Hierophant, the Moon, the Nine of Cups, the Empress, the Queen of Cups, the Devil, the Four of Pentacles, and the card at the bottom of the deck is the Five of Cups. So you're starting out the month with the Four of Cups energy. This is a card of feeling bored, feeling undervalued. You feel like no one's appreciating you. You're starting to think, well, maybe I need to see what else is out there. So you may feel like you're in a relationship that's not giving you what you need, or not valuing you, or not making you feel important enough, or and basically you're just bored. You might be stuck in a routine in a situation. And you're not really ready to change your situation. So even though there might be other offers of love around you, other opportunities that you could take, because you see this card, the cup is coming out of the cloud, but this person is not accepting it. This person is saying, no, I may not be happy with what I have, but I'm not really sure that what you're offering me is right either. And like you're not happy with what's being offered. So you're just kind of thinking about what your possible options are, but you're not taking action. So you're not leaving a relationship if you're not happy. You're just thinking, like, I wonder what it would be like to be with someone else. Or I wonder what it would be like if I did this, if I started seeing what else is out there. It's a card of discontent, the Four of Cups, not being happy with what you've got or what you're receiving. And you have the Six of Cups, which is crossing you. Now, the Six of Cups is a good card. Sixes usually mean moving toward greater harmony, moving away from difficulty towards greater harmony. So you may be staying in a situation because it represents security, either financial security or just the security of having the relationship. But the Six of Cups can be connecting with someone from the past. So you may be getting together with people that you haven't seen in a while, and that might help offset the boredom, get you out of a rut. It's also a card of healing from the past and learning lessons from the past that you're not going to repeat in the future. So that the next time you're in a relationship, so let's say if you're not in a relationship, if you've broken up with someone, you may be thinking about the past and what went wrong and what you can do different the next time. You're learning lessons from the past. But the Six of Cups and the Nine of Cups in the future kind of are letting you know that there is love in the future. There is hope for the future. You're not going to be in this bored, stuck state forever. This is just temporary. So in the past, you have the Knight of Cups and the Hierophant. The Knight of Cups is a romantic proposal. So you might have been involved with someone who was very creative, very romantic, very maybe even a little bit on the immature side or dreamy side. Because the Knight of Cups energy is a young energy. It's an immature energy. So someone might have been offering you love, but not really offering a serious commitment. It might have been someone who did not really understand what a commitment is all about. I don't know, I feel like the Knight of Cups energy is somebody like the romantic dreamer. Someone very creative, maybe artistic, musical, poetic, but didn't have the maturity you needed or the seriousness. Because you have the Hierophant here. The Hierophant's about shared wisdom. Doing things because it's expected of you. So it's possible that you were stuck in a relationship or you're stuck in a relationship with someone who was very conservative, someone who maybe restricted your freedom in some way or wanted to do things a traditional way. And Aquarius is anything but tradition. Aquarius, even though Aquarius is a fixed sign and can be stubborn, Aquarius is always looking for the innovative solution. Aquarius is always looking outside the box. They don't want to be tied down by tradition. They don't want to do things just because everyone else is doing it or we've always done it that way. That's just not them. They need the freedom to break free of tradition, to break free, to think of new ways of doing things, even new ways of being in relationship. So you could have been with someone that was a little bit of a stuck in the mud, not maybe a little stubborn, maybe not wanting to change or not wanting to embrace something new, a new way of being. Maybe you felt they were too conservative or too restrictive in some way. Because this is a very, kind of a rigid energy. Old-fashioned a little bit. Although the Hierophant also represents wisdom. Sharing your wisdom. So it's possible that you had a lot of discussions about spirituality and shared beliefs. You have the Five of Cups here. This is a card of regret. So it's possible like you're focusing on the past and things that you have lost in your life, relationships that have ended, people that have, just things that didn't work out or things that are no longer in your life. And maybe you have a sense of regret on how you handled certain things in the past and telling yourself, you know what, if I had it to do over again, I would handle it differently. Or I'm sorry the way things worked out. There's a sense of regret about how something ended or wishing that you could have a do-over. Because this person is focusing on what they've lost. They're not focusing on what they still have. And in some cases, this card can even mean that a relationship is not totally lost. You may think it's all over, and you may think like, well, it's spilt milk or it's done. But there's still two cups here. Two cups that are still full. So you have to turn, like this person needs to turn around. Instead of focusing on what's wrong in the relationship or what they've lost in a love relationship, they need to look at what they can salvage from the situation. Because there is hope. It's not like the end of the road. It's not like the Ten of Swords or the Tower or, some of these other cards that mean, give it up, just walk away, cut your losses. So I feel like there's still there's some hope. If you've ended a relationship and you have some regrets about it, there is hope that you could fix what went wrong, fix what's broken. But to do that, and this rigid stubbornness, it could even be that it was you that was rigid and stubborn. I mean, it could either be you or the other person. So to do that, you have to be more flexible. And you have to not be so stubborn or rigid or try to, or the other person, two people have to come together and kind of form some kind of compromise. You have the Moon coming up in the future with the Nine of Cups. This is really an interesting combination because the Nine of Cups is a wish fulfillment. It says, yes, you can get your wish. So if you're wanting to reunite with someone or if you're wanting to find new love that's a good fit, it's possible. And it's possible also that you are the person with the Knight of Cups energy that has you may have had an unrealistic view of what a relationship should be like. Like, sometimes people think, they get into a relationship, and if this person is really my soulmate and I really love this person and we love each other, we should never fight, or we should. Get along, or. And relationships are more complicated than that. So you may have made unrealistic demands on the relationship. One of you might have, if not you, the other person may have just expected something that was more like a fairy tale than reality. And the moon card here, there's also a sense of illusion, delusion, confusion. Like you're not seeing things clearly, or you may be letting your imagination run away with you. Maybe you're imagining, can I really trust this person? You're not sure if you could trust this person. And it may not be that you can't trust them. It just may be that in your mind you're thinking all these crazy thoughts about, like, you're letting your imagination run away with you. A lot of times, if you don't know, like, the moon can represent illusion and imagination, like, especially if someone has a very vivid imagination and you don't know what's going on in this other person's life. There might be information you're just not aware of. You fill in the blanks with your imagination, and it usually has nothing to do with reality. So in that case, with the moon, if there's there could be a misunderstanding between two people. Like, you may be thinking one thing about somebody, and it may have nothing to do with the reality. So it's important to clear up any confusion, to just have a conversation, to reach out and talk and ask. Don't fill in the blanks with what you think might be true. Ask, because a lot of times Aquarius, as an air sign, you're in your head. You're always trying to figure out, what is that person thinking? And trying to figure out motives, like, oh, they did this, or they said that, so that must mean this, or that must mean that. And a lot of times you have it all figured out in your head, and it has nothing to do with reality. So the best way to solve any kind of relationship issue this month is to talk, to ask, to clear it up, like get it out of the, talk face to face, or, however, go to the person, whether you send them a message, whether you're communicating through the internet or in person. You need to ask. Don't let your imagination fill in the blanks, because the Nine of Cups is here. So if you want love, you can have what you want. You can have, even the Six of Cups is a reunion. Or if it's not a reunion, sometimes it can bring someone a better thing in the future. Something that's more harmonious, that's more compatible to you. You have the Empress here. This is a card of abundance and motherhood, creativity. So you could be connecting with someone that's like a mother figure in some way, or you could be interested in someone that's either you're the mother, you're wanting to nurture someone, or you're wanting a relationship that it will be nurturing you. It's in your negative thinking sector, so you want to be careful that you're not dependent on someone else's nurturing. That you're not looking for someone to take, to take all the responsibility of the relationship. You can't expect. A lot of times people get into relationships saying, "Oh, when I meet my soulmate, I'll be happy," and they expect too much from the relationship. The relationship has no guarantee, or your partner is not really required to make you happy, because happiness is an inside job. So you have to kind of shift your view about what is a relationship supposed to give me? What will it bring me? What am I contributing? So and that goes both ways. I mean, you could be with someone who doesn't know how to give, and you're expecting certain things. You have to make realistic demands. You have to communicate so that you understand what your role is in the relationship, what the other person's role is in the relationship, what you can expect from each other. And so I feel like with proper communication, you can clear something up. So if you've broken up with someone and you have a sense of regret, there is still a chance that you could work things out, as long as you're not making unreasonable demands, or you're wanting to enter into the relationship for the right reasons. So here in your environment, you have this Queen of Cups energy. So this could be describing the person that you're interested in. Someone very intuitive, someone who is very sensitive, very compassionate, maybe even artistic. And this person could be thinking of the past too. So if you think that you're the only one that cares, you could be wrong, because I think this person's facing the past. They're looking back too about what went wrong. Maybe that you both have regrets. So, but I still think that there is a potential to fix what went wrong. There's still hope with the 2 cups filled. And even if there isn't there's still hope in some area of your life. So it's not like a total loss. You still have something that you can build on. You just have to look at what you have left and work from there. So you have in your wish fulfillment, you have the devil. The devil comes up sometimes when there's a drinking or a drug problem or an addiction. So you could be either struggling with addiction in some way, or even if it's not a physical addiction, like, drinking drugs, you could be addicted to a person or a relationship or a certain type of behavior where you feel drawn into something that you can't break free from. Like you want to pull away, you want to break up, or you want to move on, but you can't. You keep getting drawn back in. It's like an obsession. Sometimes that could be going on, that energy. It's like an unhealthy tie. It could be a little bit codependent, where you're either very dependent on someone and letting them do all the work, or vice versa, where you're doing all the work and the other person's dependent on you. So you really need to watch any unhealthy aspects of a relationship and try to work on that. And also the devil can represent desire, chemistry, physical attraction. So there could be someone that you're interested in, or you're in a relationship with them, and there's a strong chemistry, strong physical attraction, and it's just hard to break free. You feel like they almost have a spell on you in some way. That could be another way that the devil plays out. And the other way is that you have a fear of intimacy. You're afraid of opening up to a relationship because you're afraid it will overwhelm you, that you will lose yourself in this union. So there's a couple of reasons why you might not be accepting the love that's coming. Because there is love that is available. It's like it's there for you. You just have to say yeah, and you're involved. But you're kind of hesitating. It's like you don't want what's being offered. And you have this 4 of Pentacles as an outcome. That's a card of holding on too tightly to something. Trying to control the outcome, being too controlling. Like you want things to go a specific way, and if they don't go that specific way, you think, oh, this isn't going to work. So you have to kind of like loosen up or lighten up, or you could be involved with someone who's controlling. And that's one of the issues. Or you could want a relationship for the wrong reasons. Like the 4 of Pentacles, maybe you just want to be with someone because you want to feel secure, but it has nothing to do with love. Or you don't really want to bond with someone on a deep level. You just want someone to take care of you. You just want someone in your life that makes you feel safe financially. You have financial security. And that could be keeping you in a relationship that you may not be all that happy with, but it offers you some type of security, so you'll stick with it. But you have the 9 of Cups here. And if you can overcome your fears and focus on the good things in the connection, you can salvage something. And if you're looking for new love, you can definitely find new love. Because the 6 of Cups is here. It's about, meeting new people, moving into a more harmonious situation. So if you had any problems in the past, I almost feel, though, that this is a past issue that needs to be resolved. That you have to have some closure, or you have to have if you had a conversation with someone, you could make it work the second time around. As long as you don't make the same mistakes. As long as you've learned and you've healed from some lessons from the past. And you know, like, okay, next time around I'm going to do different things. I'm going to do something differently. Then I think you can get your wish, the 9 of Cups. And get this. This is the family card, too. It's about children, home, family, abundance. And maybe a part of you feels like you can't have that. It's in your negative thinking sector. Like I'm not worthy of it, or it's not, it's for everybody else gets it, but not me. So you have to start thinking more positive, because I think that there is love out there for you and there's love around you. You just have to kind of meet it halfway and overcome some fears and speak up and talk and work through this confusion, work through the misunderstanding through communication. So let's see what the astrology says. And especially since Neptune has been retrograde and it's now going direct, so there could be some shifts in anything that you found confusing. You have Mars trining Neptune, so it's a good time to take action towards a dream or a goal, get involved in some type of creative project, try to clear up any kind of confusion, misunderstanding, get help if you have any kind of drinking or drug problem. So this new moon is happening in your 11th house. That's the house of friendship. That's the house of the groups that you belong to. It's the house of dreams, wishes. Like if you have this long-standing goal or dream, this new moon eclipse can bring you closer to achieving it. It's like a new beginning. Sometimes at eclipse time, you can have an ending followed by a new beginning. So if you're leaving one relationship, there's another one in the wings. But there's a real chance for you to achieve a goal that you've wanted for a long time. And Mercury is there. So you could get a message. You could either get a message or give a message that helps. Communication is going to be important this month because these moons are connected with the nodes and the North Node, especially the North Node in Gemini, which is about speaking up, telling your story, speaking your piece, reaching out, trying new things. The other thing is, so Mercury and the new moon are together. You have the new moon eclipse at 12 degrees Sagittarius. Mercury's at 15 degrees. And in Sagittarius, your thoughts, your thinking, your beliefs, you have a new way of thinking. You have an opportunity to view something from a new perspective, to start to believe more in yourself and the possibility that you can achieve a goal. A lot of it, success has a lot to do with belief. What do I believe is possible for me? If you think you're a failure and you think you can never achieve something, you will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. But if you really believe in yourself and you believe that anything is possible, there's no limit to what you can do. Now, at this new moon, it's aspecting Uranus in your 4th house, so there could be some surprises about where you live. Maybe you have to move suddenly. Or there could be a shakeup in your family, home and family. You might be either somebody's moving out, somebody's moving in. There's like an unsettled energy, and you're not feeling that secure where you're living right now. In the 12th house, you have Venus and Pluto coming together. Now, the 12th house is a very psychological house. Venus being there, you may have feelings for someone and you're not revealing them. So that's like the secret love kind of house, where you have either you're having an affair that has to be kept secret, or you have feelings for someone and you can't communicate them. They don't know it. They don't know how you feel. And with Pluto being there, it's very intense, very powerful. If you would allow this love to be revealed, it could possibly transform your life. But you also have to deal with issues around betrayal, manipulation, power struggles. Those are the things that are in the background, in the unconscious layers of your mind that are preventing you from having the love that you need. So you have to deal with it. It could even be dealing with a relationship, like a maternal relationship. You have to revisit your relationship with your mother. And how did your mother shape your views about love? And how you how you respond to love, how you attract love, how you deal with intimacy. It would be a good time to go for counseling and deal with these issues, because Pluto represents the shadow, and Venus conjunct Pluto can bring up the shadow side of love. It can bring up the powerful, the beautiful side of love, a really intense bond, like you're there, you're bonded forever, nothing can separate you. But it can also bring up, because the emotions are so strong, it could bring up fears of abandonment, jealousy, fears of betrayal, especially if you've gone through that in a past relationship. You might be rehashing, past experiences, because Pluto wounds go deep, and you may have some unresolved things that need to be resolved, about loss even. Pluto is like the death planet. Maybe you had a relationship with someone who died, and that's still affecting you today. And so you can't move on. You can't have a current relationship because you're still hung up on somebody from the past that had a really strong effect on you. Mars is in your 10th house, so your career is on fire. Your energy is about getting ahead, achieving your goals. You're seeing, your public life. You're very active. And Mars is sextile Pluto and Venus. So if you want love, you can, it gives you the power. Mars in Scorpio, in your 10th house, it's very strong because it's angular. And plus it's in Scorpio where it rules Scorpio. If you really want to get at the psychological aspects of love, on the shadow side of love that's operating in your life, the unconscious behavior that we all do, our blind spots, our self-sabotaging behavior, Mars can help you do that. It'll give you the courage to look behind the veil and see the things that you may not have wanted to see about yourself, or things from the past that you probably shoved under the rug, or shoved into your psyche, into your unconscious. It's time to bring them to the surface so that you could heal it. You have wounds that need to be healed, basically. Now, Jupiter's in your 1st house. It's going to be there for another month, throughout December until it moves into Pisces at the end of the month. So the whole year it's been very fortunate for you. There's a lot of opportunities. Jupiter brings opportunity. Jupiter brings growth. Sometimes Jupiter can bring excess weight. You overindulge in food when Jupiter's in your 1st house. It's hard to lose weight. You find yourself putting on extra pounds. But the good thing is, once Jupiter moves into Pisces at the end of this year, at the end of December, and then into next year, it's going to be in your 2nd house of money. So Jupiter's going to then inflate your financial situation. So you could have some abundance coming in at the end of the year. Saturn will be squaring Uranus, and Uranus and Saturn are your ruling planets. So there might be some power struggles with a home issue and with an authority figure. Where's Saturn? Saturn's in your 2nd house. No. Saturn's in your 12th house. So definitely, if you're having any struggles at home with people that you're living with, or people from, it's got its roots, there's an unconscious thing going on. You've been programmed by an authority figure from your childhood to rebel. And so you're being run by an unconscious program. Because the Saturn-Uranus square is like you need to be freed from something. And what you need to be, because Saturn's in the 12th house, there are some attitudes around authority and even taking responsibility. It's like you've rejected the adult energy. You reject, like if there was a father figure or a mother figure, usually Saturn is father, but it could be mother too. Anybody who was the authority, who wielded power and authority in your childhood. You might have some unconscious programming around that. And Uranus going through your 4th house is trying to free you from that childhood programming. So it's Uranus and Saturn have been doing this dance all year. The final aspect is at the end is on around Christmas, the 24th or the 25th. So it would be a great time to go through counseling and to get at that unconscious programming, to bring it all to the surface. Because not only do you have Saturn there, you've also got Pluto and Venus there. So it's both parents. And if you could work out those conflicts, it will free you to experience greater intimacy in your life, because you'll be working on removing those blocks. So this full moon is shining a light on your 11th and 5th house. That's the house of friendship. The 11th house is friendship, hopes, dreams. The 5th house is love, romance, children. Something is going to be revealed around this time. It's going to bring opportunity. for you. It's going to free you in some way, because Jupiter in your first house, it's going to bring optimism back to your life. If you can, you may have to, you could have a friendship that turns to love. You could have a chance for a new romance, or something is completing. So if you've been doing work on yourself, if you start doing work at the new moon eclipse, you may get some good news by the full moon, or you might have some kind of like a small victory. I don't think you're going to solve all your problems overnight. An eclipse can take up to 6 months to play out. But Christmas could be a happy time for you. It could be a time of abundance and optimism. Mercury is in the 12th house, and it's trining Uranus in the 4th. So Mercury, again, is a planet of thinking, new ways of thinking, communicating, speaking up. So if you've been holding on, if you've been holding on to things and not speaking up, maybe you have a message you want to give to someone, but you've been holding back. I think that if you could have the courage to speak up and speak your piece, you could make dramatic changes in your home life, and free yourself from these past family patterns. Mars is in your 11th. At this point, Mars moves into Sag. He's in the 11th house. He's opposing the North Node in Gemini in the 5th house. So I feel like you're going to take action to either reach out and communicate with someone, or find a new group of friends, or take action toward a goal or a dream. Because the 11th house is friendships, the groups you belong to. You might be joining a new group that's helping you to achieve a goal. Out of this group, there could even be a possible romance, or you could even be communicating with children, because you're going to be open to more things. You're not going to be stuck in your rut by the end of the month. I feel like you're going to be taking action, networking with people. Things are going to be improving. So if you start the month out feeling like, oh, I'm in a rut and I'm not happy with anything that's being offered me, things are going to start to change. But they're not going to change by themselves. You have to put the work in too. You have to look at what your contribution is. What am I doing that's causing some of these things to happen? What's my role in this situation? And sometimes it's hard for us to look at ourselves and see, it takes two to tango. It's always easier to see what the other person is doing and blame the other person, but we have to look at ourselves too and say, okay, what am I doing that I could fix or change that could help this situation, that could improve the situation? And if you could do that, that would be great, because you have Venus also retrograding through your 12th house. So it's bringing up these issues. It goes retrograde on the 18th or the 19th until the 29th of January. But it doesn't even get out of Capricorn until March. So you have a lot of time to really go over these psychological issues around love and money and feelings of betrayal, fear, jealousy. I mean, all the emotions that have to do with Venus. How do I give love? How do I receive love? Am I open to love? What about my parents? How did I feel loved as a child by my mother, my father? I mean, all these things are all wrapped up in that 12th house. And all the power struggles and did you feel empowered by your parents? Or did you feel like they had power over you? You were bullied. I mean, there could be so many things that affect us and program us. And it affects how we earn money. It affects how we feel, whether we feel deserving of love. These are all the issues that you're going to be looking at during this time. But the good thing is, if you have the courage to look and to deal with these issues, it will free you, and you'll feel like a new person. You'll feel like you're rising from the ashes, it'll be like a rebirth. Especially as when you have the new moon in Aquarius, which will come later, like in February. So you have a lot of work to do this month. You may get a positive, and you're going to have some good ideas. You're going to have Mercury trining Uranus. So you're getting supported to really, you might get flashes of insight or ideas on how you could fix something or solve something. Things that you may have forgotten may come to the surface. But whatever it is, it's going to be healing for you. So don't be afraid to confront the shadow during this time, because it will lead to healing and it will lead to improvement, and it will lead to a greater capacity for you to experience love and to even bring financial abundance back into your life. Love and abundance. So Aquarius, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If it resonated with you, please leave a comment. I love to read all the comments. Click on the like button, click on the subscribe button. If you'd like a private reading, you can click on the link in the description box. It'll take you to my website. We can get you on the schedule. In the meantime, have a wonderful holiday season, wonderful December if you're celebrating the holidays, and I will talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.